to my Tekkit tutorials. My name's Gaz, and today we're going to have a look at basic power. So behind me I have basic power set up as you would expect, and the first thing we're going to be looking at realistically is we're going to start by introducing the world of dynamos. So the dynamo is basically split into four categories. We have the steam dynamo, we have the magmatic dynamo, we have the compression dynamo, and we have the reactant dynamo. And effectively they are growing in order as far as complexity as well as difficulty to maintain, etc. So first up we're going to want to produce the steam dynamo. Now we need to start by making a redstone transmission coil, which is a piece of silver surrounded by two pieces of redstone. Then all we need is copper ingots and copper gears. Copper gears is very straightforward, we've seen it all before. So I don't need to realistically make one of these dynamos for you, it's relatively straightforward. I'll just grab the one I made earlier out of here. Now a steam dynamo requires a fuel, in this case we're going to look at coal and water in order to produce steam, which it then obviously converts into power. Now we need to do something with that power, so realistically we're going to want to transmit it somewhere. So we're going to want to build some cabling. Now the simplest cabling we can create is leadstone cabling, and that's two pieces of lead, a piece of glass, and 6 redstone. So I will grab this out of here, and we'll just simply make this up so that you can see that in exchange for these resources, which should be not easy to get, but relatively early game, we get 6 leadstone energy conduit. If we shift, we can see that a leadstone energy conduit can transfer 80 RF per tick. Now this is realistically going to generate somewhere sort of close to or around less than that, so we shouldn't have too much problem. If I wanted to upgrade my leadstone energy conduit, I need to use some invar. Now what I need to do is take 3 pieces of leadstone energy conduit, 3 pieces of redstone, I'll just do it here for the sake of argument, and a single piece of invar. Oops. And if we place it in this formation, you can see that it converts those 3 leadstone energy conduits into 3 hardened energy conduits, and they have a 400 RF per tick transfer rate. And luckily I have some I prepared earlier, ready for perhaps messing around with. Now that we have the ability to move the power from one place to another, we're probably going to end up with a bit of surplus power. So we're going to want to store that power in a useful way. So we're going to need to build some energy cells. So again, if we have a look at the energy cells, I can't spell today, you can see that there's a variety. Now we can ignore the ones from applied energistics, we're focusing on the thermal expansion energy cells. So we have the leadstone energy cell, and we have some rain, which is always nice. So I stopped that rain to get rid of it. So we have our leadstone energy cell. Now all it is 4 pieces of lead, 4 pieces of glass, and a block of redstone. So reasonably expensive, but that just gives us the cell frame. That's not actually the energy cell itself. In order to make the energy cell, we need to surround that cell frame with a redstone reception core, which we built earlier, and 3 copper ingots. And that gives us a leadstone energy cell, which has the capacity of 400 RF, for 400,000 RF, and it can handle 80 RF per tick. So luckily it corresponds nicely with the ability I have from my power. So I place down the steam dynamo and I have a look at clicking onto it and see the interface. So I can see I need some water, I need some fuel, and then it will generate steam. And it can generate a maximum of 80 RF per tick, and I can decide to control it with redstone if I want to. So if I have my leadstone energy conduit, I can snake this around as much as I want and it will transfer the power somewhere. Then we can put down our energy cell. Now if we currently have the energy cell set up like this, all I need to do is put some fuel in here, and then I can effectively click on it with the water bucket and it'll add the water, and the seal will automatically turn on and it'll start to generate from the water the steam, and that'll put power out that will start to build up in the energy cell. Now if you're unfamiliar with the energy cell interface, it's very simple. Each of the sides, so it's 6-sided, can be either an input or an output or turned off, and the color indicates which one it is. So we have a front which has this sort of ridged appearance. When we open the configuration window, you'll see that it matches this one here, the ridged appearance. So on the left is where we currently have the entrance for my power, and it's getting quite a lot of power quite quickly. So if I turn this to yellow, that turns it off and therefore disables its connection. If I turn it to orange, that would mean that this is an output, and it's sending power out. So I want to leave that on blue. I could also configure how much power I wanted to input and output if I want to control these rates. Now, considering this is generating effectively 80 RF per tick, it would make sense to obviously attract and accept 80 RF per tick. And I can obviously fill this up with water, and it should have plenty then to go through and burn through the coal. So that'll generate me power, filling my energy cell. So that's the basic engine, the basic starting point, basic dynamo effectively. The next one up is using invar. Now the invar that it's going to need is because this is a magmatic dynamo, and the magmatic dynamo deals with taking on and converting lava into energy. So it needs a little bit more of an expensive resource to generate that energy, but it's going to generate more energy as a result. So if we take an energy cell, the leadstone type we just created, and surround it with 4 invar, we will get a hardened energy cell. Now it's worth showing you that if we had a wrench, which we can create with iron gears and or 5397, so if we just give me a wrench, I can pick up this energy cell by shift right clicking. And that energy cell maintains its power, so it's still got half of its power in there, so it's still got effectively 191k. Now if I put this half full energy cell into here and then pick it up, it still has that 191k. So I don't lose my energy by upgrading it. But by creating 3 invar gears, 3 invar ingots, and another of the redstone transmission coils, I can place down my energy cell and place down my magmatic dynamo. And all I need to do with this one, take some lava, place it in there, and it starts to immediately convert that lava into energy. And it still produces a maximum of 80 RF per tick. So again, I can connect it to the energy cell, and you'll see that it starts to fill up the energy cell with power. But this actually, as a hardened energy cell, can handle much higher. So it can handle inputs of up to 400 RF per tick. So I could connect more than one dynamo into this entrance or into this input, but obviously I couldn't use this cable because this cable can only handle transferring 80 RF per tick. So I'd want to start upgrading it and using the hardened energy conduit if I was going to connect more than one of these together. And you'll see, unfortunately, the cables don't connect to each other. So I'd have to make sure we run the same cable all the way from the source all the way to the energy cell. Okay, so that's our magmatic dynamo. If you happen to have a lava source nearby, so I have a volcano over there, which I could use to go and get some lava. So obviously this was my actual spawn. There's another volcano somewhere else as well. So those volcanoes are a good source of lava. Now it's pouring down the opposite side, so I can't see it. Doesn't look quite as impressive, but I could climb up there, get myself a pump, and siphon off the lava. And it would give me a good supply. So these are the basic engines. These require very simple combinations. This one just requires the lava. So next up then, we're going to want to have a look at creating the compression dynamo, perhaps. So this requires tin gears and tin ingots and the redstone reception coil, or transmission coil even, and it's going to create a compression dynamo. So I've got some more energy conduit for me to use this time. Now the compression dynamo works differently because the compression dynamo, as it says when you highlight it, I'll pick it up again. So if I grab my wrench and shift right click, pick it up. When you've got it and you hold the shift, it requires fluid fuel and coolant. Okay, so if we place it down, it's getting dark. So we'll set time today. Oh, what a surprise, it's light again. So we need to add both a liquid fuel, so in this case I have actual fuel, and a coolant, in this case water, and you'll see once again it turns on. And this again generates a maximum of 80 RF per tick, but it does so by burning fuel and obviously cooling itself with water. So if we give this plenty of each, we can once again connect it to one of our energy cells. Plump. And there we are. It's starting to accept the power for us. So once we have a refinery set up, then we can obviously create fuel, and we can convert that fuel into power using a compression dynamo. Slightly more effective at producing RF than the combustion engine was. So the final tier of dynamo then that we're going to have a look at is the reactant dynamo. Now the reactant dynamo requires bronze and Tinker's alloy gears, which is made from the bronze. So it's quite an advanced alloy that we need to create, because creating bronze, something we'll look at later on, is a combination of a few things. So copper ingot, tin ingot, and another copper ingot gives you one bronze dust. So it's quite an expensive sort of material to create. It requires 3 ingots per ingot, because when we sort of heat this, we get 1 ingot. And there's no real way to sort of double your ores when it comes to bronze. And what a compression dynamo needs is it needs a fluid fuel and a solid reactant. So it's no coolant here, it's all about basically combining, in this case, energized glowstone, which is quite an expensive thing to create. So energized glowstone can go in here. And then we add gunpowder, and you'll see it starts to combine the two together, and once again generate RF. And if we put down another energy cell and connect our RF cables to it, we can now see once again be transferring the energy into here. So energized glowstone is quite expensive to produce, because you have to effectively melt glowstone. And obviously gunpowder could be quite expensive depending on whether or not you have yourself a mob spawner or a mob farm in any respect. But these are all the main dynamo options, and they're all relatively safe to use. Because you'll see this one's run out of lava and hasn't exploded for no reason. This one's running out of water. Once it does run out of water, it stops burning fuel. It's actually maximized out its storage capacity. So therefore, if we add some more, it goes back to burning and it will just stop. And again, if this runs out of water, it won't explode. It's a relatively safe way of doing it. Okay, and it has little tool tips to help you, but it's nothing really special or complicated. So that's basic power, using the dynamos and our basic energy cells. When we have a look at the next tier of energy cells, you'll see that we're going to switch from something we can create very easily to redstone, liquid redstone being needed. So we need to create and then fill the redstone energy cells with actually destabilized redstone. So again, a little bit more advanced than we are available to do now. And obviously more useful for high amounts of power when we have high amounts of power being generated, perhaps by our big reactors. So that's basic power, looking at dynamos. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope you continue to enjoy the episodes, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now. Thanks for watching, and as ever, you'll find a link to the download for the world in the description if you'd like to download this very simple tutorial world and follow along and have a go at any of these basic tutorials yourself. Also remember to vote for the tutorial that you would like to see next. Now the tutorial that you'll see next is already prepared. It's based on previous votes, so this is the vote for not the next tutorial but the tutorial after that. So obviously I want to keep releasing the tutorials that you want to see. So if there's a tutorial that comes up on the screen that you'll see, only level asks for 2 episodes each vote. If you want to see that particular tutorial, let me know and I will deliver it at the very next slot, so they can be scheduled around what you want to see. Other than that, check out my Let's Play series if you're new to my channel. Thank you for finding and checking out the video. Hit the like button if you have enjoyed. It always helps to obviously help share the video. But also, I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.